I was talking to one of my friends last week at work, and she shared with me the ins and outs of an incident that had just occurred with her and her boss. And it brought up not only some very strong feelings about that particular incident, which we'll talk about here in a second, but a story that occurred for her and her team 2 or 3 years ago. So let's travel through time. Circa, I don't know, let's say 2015, 2016, 2017, probably closer to 2015. And one of the bigwigs at the company that we both work for, different teams, different job roles, inventory management for her, tech work for me and my team. But one of the bigwigs got this amazing idea that they wanted to audit the inventory management process, see what they could cut out, essentially, see where they could save some money. But they wanted a better understanding of what was going on, processes, procedures, etc. Mostly to see what they could cut out. So, the project that they come up with is that during the weekend, on a Saturday, that this one friend of mine and her boss are going to go to the different sites that we have. Let's say around 2,000 employees. So you figure, at least that many computers, at least that many monitors, printers, blah, 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 all this stuff. And they are going to do a full site audit. We're talking thousands of pieces of equipment. Normally something that we tackle a little bit at a time. We'll do, this one section of computers that we just got in, or, this one section of things that just went out. Because we're talking, I think the number right now is 30-some thousand pieces of equipment that we handle. A lot of stuff. So they come in Saturday, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. Okay. They go through this audit where she is physically going to each person's desk, checking items, making sure that they match up with what it shows in the system, going to the next desk, repeating, going through pallets, going through everything that you guys can imagine over and over again for hours at a time. She is the only one authorized to do this because they want to see how the process works out. Now, she's already frustrated being there for several hours. Her family, her child is at home. She's not able to see it. It's a Saturday, all that stuff. Now, her manager for that team, like I said, tagged along, supervision, etc. However, he did not want to be bored while his employee, one of his team members, was out doing her job. So he decided to bring his girlfriend along for the ride. True story, I swear to you guys, this really happened, where this guy brought his girlfriend into the office while one of his employees was sitting there for hours at a time going through equipment. Now, we can obviously already see the horrible decision making. We can see the poor choice in leadership. We can see so many things that I'm not even going to touch that. That's not a video. We're not touching it because it was so stupid. Okay. So, his girlfriend's hanging out with her boyfriend. The employee is doing his thing, or her thing in this case. And the girlfriend gets this idea in her head. I don't know where it came from, but what she did was take an asset that had already been inventoried, put it in a book bag, put it somewhere, and walked clear across to the other side of the campus. The idea was, how are we going to handle it when she comes across this asset, and the confusion and the mystery that ensues? What's going to happen? She figured it out. It dealt with it very quickly, figured out what was going on, and was pissed. Very frustrated about this incident that had occurred. Now, mind you, this is many years ago. Now, we cut to last week, where different manager, same team. She's been promoted a couple of times. I've been, obviously, and I've shared this with you guys, promoted a couple of times. And she messages me on our, inner office chat program, and she is angry. She is pissed off. And, I tell her, hey, what's going on? Explain to me the situation. She is now in charge of, procedures, processes, documentation. She's doing reporting. She's making reports that go out to very high-ranking people in the company. And her manager, different manager than the guy several years ago, decided to, and I don't know the exact specifics for it, but integrate some type of secret message into the documents that she was reviewing and working on to ensure that she was actually reviewing them, that she was actually reading them, that she was processing them, etc., etc. She saw it, she figured it out, she questioned it, and he told her, look, this is what I'm doing. It's a test. I'm testing you. I'm making sure that you're doing your job. And she was furious. And look, in both of these situations, she was absolutely correct, 100%. Now, if we look at the initial situation, manager brings his girlfriend. They mess around with some of the equipment. Mystery, ensues, etc., etc. First of all, and I've already stated this, girlfriend should not have been there. She had no involvement. She should not have touched any asset whatsoever. If we look at both situations, you as a leader, you as a manager, and I don't care if you are, a team lead with 2 other technicians in charge of you. If you are in a position like me where you have, several, we're talking double digits or even more people that report to you. I don't care if you're a rate leader, a guild leader. I don't care what position you're at. Your job, first and foremost, is to teach your employees, your raters, your team. Your job is never, ever, ever, ever to sit back and try to trick, confuse, whatever the case might be, whatever word you want to use. Your job is not ever to trick your team. Because now, and we've talked about this before, there is a link, this idea of integrity between management and employee. And now, in the back of her mind, she is thinking, this guy is trying to trick me. Is he trying to trick me this time? Is this a test? Is this something that, he's going to remember later that, because you failed this one thing? That's not a situation that you nor I as management, as employees, need or want to be in. Imagine a situation where you go into work, you go into a raid, you go into your job, you do whatever, and you're not sure with every action that whoever is in charge, rate leader, guild leader, manager, team lead, whatever, are they tricking me? Are they messing with me? Is this going to come back and bite me in the ass? How's this going to play out? This is not your job as a manager, as a leader. Your job is to teach, foster, encourage, help, assist. The idea of taking care of and growing someone so that they can then take your spot when it's their time. Not to trick them, to confuse them, to piss them off because you want to, have some fun or there are better ways to do both situations. Both situations could have been handled far better than a girlfriend going around moving crap where she had no business being there in the first place or touching any assets since she's not an employee of the company, or a manager who's going to hide some text somewhere in a document, some type of riddle to make you question, to make you figure out, to make you go, what's going on. Both situations were handled pretty poorly. Now, with all that being said, guys, if you've ever had this, I wouldn't mind knowing in the comment section below. You guys can hit me up. If you like this video, you guys know what to do. If you didn't like the video, well, unfortunately, you guys know what to do. Until next time, guys, I'll see you.